Good morning. I am gonna get ready and I want to talk about the new term that I've seen. I've seen whispers in the corridors on TikTok about birthday makeup. And I started looking into it because I was like, oh, it's another makeup trend. And I looked into it and I'm like, this is just 2016 makeup, but like in another font. And my initial reaction was like, oh, another makeup trend that the kids on TikTok are just taking something that already exists, renaming it, and trying to pass it off as new. And then I had to check myself, check my ego, and be like, just because I have done this makeup in 2016 does not mean that the group that I did this with, the makeup influencers from that era, that we invented it. We didn't invent any of this. And it started to make me feel, does it matter? Am I just gatekeeping the beauty community and just saying if you're not coming up with something new, don't try to pass something old off as new? And it really got me thinking about how trends come and go, because birthday makeup, what people are calling birthday makeup is basically the full glam that you do for your birthday. And I did see a couple, and I also will talk about, I saw some negative things about that, and I'll talk about that in a bit as well. But I saw a couple of people basically being like, I'm doing my birthday makeup, and some people were like, it's my actual birthday, and some were just I'm doing, they were tagging birthday makeup and just doing the full glam, lots of products, very all made up, cut creases, 2016, I am losing my dress, could you not? And it got me thinking, I'm guessing that what we thought was everyday makeup back in 2016 is just seen as super glammed up, special makeup. And I gotta say, I don't disagree. I definitely think that some of the things that we were back then, it was a little intense at times. It was a little intense, and it also got me thinking, and that's why I'm using this new Urban Decay foundation. I don't know if I'll be talking about all of the products that I'm using today, but I will link everything down in the description box in case you're like, what was she wearing? What shade is that? Where can I find it? Everything will be down in the description box. I do use affiliated links, and if you do shop through my links, you will be supporting my channel, and thank you so much if you do. But I was also thinking about how this birthday trend makeup was coinciding with how a lot of 2016 makeup products that snatched contour, the very bold brows, the cut creases, and a lot of eye makeup, the matte lips, the beaming highlight, a lot of those things are coming back in new products, like this full coverage foundation from Urban Decay that is a soft matte full coverage foundation that is honestly awesome, but it's coming back in a modern take. This is not the full coverage matte foundation that we had in 2016. This is much lighter. It feels like air on the skin. It has a soft matte finish, which gives it a little bit of a give and sheen to it, and it also holds up absolutely beautiful, and it will not look cakey throughout the day, unlike some of the things that we wore in 2016. So maybe this trend is coming back together with just a roster of refreshed products to do the look with, because a lot of the things that we were, products weren't always the easiest to work with back then. I've also seen some people say oh, influencers like everything. Products are so much better now than they were 9 years ago when I started reviewing products on YouTube. There are so much better quality makeup now in every price range. So it's not super common for you to come across a product that's actually bad quality. So instead, when you end up not liking a product, it's usually because of personal preferences. I don't like this finish. This kind of foundation doesn't work on my skin tone or my skin type or the climate that I'm living in. Or I don't like a matte bronzer, or I don't like a full coverage foundation. It could be so many different reasons. It's usually not the way that it was in 2015, 16, 17. It's usually not this product actually sucks. Those kind of products, few and far between, not important. I see them every now and then, but not as common as it was back then. Because I remember even back in 2016 era, those years, some of the foundations that people really love, like the Huda Beauty, the matte foundation, the Fenty, the matte foundation, and the full coverage one, that Urban Decay All Nighter. I have tried all three of those foundations, and I never ever liked them. I always thought that they were too heavy. I thought that they were too much. They looked extremely thick and cakey on my skin. And I will say, also something to bear in mind, when I started YouTube, there was not a lot of people in my age bracket that I saw. I am 40 years old. When I started YouTube, I was over 30, makes sense, 9 years ago, 32. And for me, it was really, really hard to find people that did reviews in my age bracket. So the people that were saying that this foundation was flawless, they were in their 20s. And on me, in my 30s, it looks so heavy and just bad on me. And it was the same with like the triangle concealer. I still use the triangle shape. I just use much less product than I did back then because like my under eyes cannot do that heavy product. I will say, the older I get, the less face products my face can take. And I even said this to when I was in New Orleans with creators and friends. I even told Kiki, the owner of Salt New York, that my makeup aesthetic has changed a lot, but not necessarily my eye makeup. I still love bright, bold, I'm still I was never left the 2016 era. I still love that kind of makeup. I was never tired of eyeshadow. But the thing that has changed is my face makeup. And I said I'm like a clean girl aesthetic on my face and a happy clown on my eyes. I like light coverage. I like skin tints. I've been really into this foundation though. And when I do a full coverage foundation, I want something that doesn't look as cakey as those foundations. And for a really long time, I was only doing light and medium coverage because I thought that all full coverage foundations were just gonna be like the ones that like the Urban Decay All Nighter, which was literally like an old school liquid lipstick, but just in foundation shades. It was just so bad on my skin. I really, really disliked it. It was so heavy. And I feel like now we have a more diverse group of creators in different like sizes, because not all the big creators, and I'm not a big creator, I'm actually considered, I think I'm considered still a small creator. I think you're over 250, I don't know, but I think I'm still considered a small creator at 130,000, which tells you how big some creators are. But there are definitely more mid-size and big creators right now that still apply makeup and still do makeup looks. There are, I mean, when I say older, I mean like not in their 20s. 30s, 40s, 50s that are successful and are giving advice to people that are not necessarily only in their 20s. And one of the things that really have come back, and I saw this in the birthday makeup, and I cannot do, I'm gonna use the hourglass. I'm gonna use the hourglass powder. I cannot do baking, but I saw that that was a part of like what people were doing with intense makeup, and I was like, is baking coming back? Because my skin cannot. And I think this is just a reminder to anyone, honestly, when you see trends coming, not all trends need to be for you. I can look at baking coming back and I can say, good for you, not for me. Because I can't do baking. Like my under eyes will die. I do though sometimes bake around my nose, because that's the place where I get the most oily. I have oily combo skin and I get oily around my nose the most. So sometimes I will put extra powder and just let that really set in. So there's nothing wrong with baking a little bit, but bake with purpose. Like, why are you baking? I can't bake my under eyes. I am gonna look like a 200-year-old lizard and nobody wants that. One thing I'm also not bringing back is the block brows. I don't know why nobody stopped me. Like, why did nobody pull me aside and be like, these brows are not it? Because they were not it. But I think also one of the things with like brows were, I cannot even, if you weren't there, and this is the one thing I want to say about like the trends and like why are kids just renaming old things and just calling them new. A lot of the people right now that are popular on TikTok, they weren't even teenagers in 2015-16. How are they supposed to know? How are they supposed to know? And like, does it matter? And that's the part where I'm like, am I just gatekeeping this whole thing? Are they not allowed to like come in and discover and form their own opinions and create their own trends? And what if the renaming? Imagine and look back at the conflict that we had in between And if you weren't there, I'm telling you right now, there was this really weird conflict between working makeup artists and just influencers that was just applying makeup for the fun of it back in 2016-17. And basically the makeup artist was like, we already did these techniques. Like, why are you saying that Kim Kardashian invented contouring? Why are you talking about contouring like it's something new? We have done that for years. And I think that it was the same thing. They were like gatekeeping these techniques. And it's like, well, if you've known about these techniques for so long, why didn't you tell people about them? Why did it need to be like teenagers in their bedrooms talking about this new technique for them to realize that there are things that they could be doing like on themselves? And I will say, as someone who used to work as a makeup artist myself, it doesn't matter sometimes how good you think you are with makeup. There will always be a time where a professional makeup artist is the right choice. That will always be the right choice at certain times. I don't think that that area of expertise is disappearing, or at least it shouldn't be. Maybe some people are a little bit more emboldened than they should be with their own makeup expertise, but there's definitely always a time and place for a professional makeup artist, even me. If there was something that I was gonna do, I mean, I did my own makeup for my wedding, but I had a very chill wedding. I had a very chill wedding, and I have done brides myself, so I mean, that makes sense. I've also worked with live TV, so if I were ever able to do something for live TV, I probably would do it myself. If I were to walk a red carpet, which I never will, again, I'm a small YouTuber. If I were to walk a red carpet, I would hire a makeup artist, because that is not the type of makeup that I don't know how to do that. I would book someone. If I were to do a photo shoot, I will say I did do some makeup for like photo shoots as well, but that is not my expertise. I might hire someone for that as well. There's always a time and a place for makeup artists. So I don't know why they were so butthurt about people all of a sudden talking about techniques that, I mean, they even admitted themselves that they knew all the time. And now I'm like realizing, am I the problem? Am I the problem? Am I the drama? Because now we are talking about these TikTok trends and we're like, we already knew about these. Like, so what? Just let people have fun. They want to call it birthday makeup? That's totally fine. I'm just happy that dramatic makeup is back. One of the things that definitely has changed for me is how I do my brows. But I will say, the same experience as I remember when I came into the beauty community, I started watching some things in the beauty community before I like actually started doing some things myself. Although I will say the time frame between me discovering the beauty community and me actually starting to create things myself is less than 6 months, because I immediately was just enthralled with the whole community, and I was like, if I make videos, I can make friends too. That's how I was thinking. That's why I started this whole thing, was to make friends. And I remember coming into the beauty community thinking, wow, I can just change my brows. I can just make them in a different way if I want to, because I have naturally thin brows. I don't pluck my brows. They are the way that they are, and they were thin back in the days as well. So my brows were perfect for the 90s and early 2000s, but then with like more blocky brows, when they were like becoming a little bit more popular, or like the blocky brows and the naturally thick brows, I remember thinking, oh, great. Well, I don't have that. And then I discovered the beauty community, and I was like, wait, as someone who really loves makeup, because I've always loved makeup, I was like, why did I not realize that if I want to change them up, I can? So I have now the way I do my brows. I really like the way I do my brows. Not everybody does, but I mean, the most important thing is that I like it, right? That's the important thing. I'm not doing my brows for you. I'm doing my brows for me. And I think that that's one of the things that I realized with the beauty community, that there are so many different ways. There's so many things that I could learn, and there's so many different ways where I can change things if I want to. And who am I to like gatekeep the next generation coming in, saying like, no, we already discovered all of these things. That's not for you to like rediscover. That's just crazy. And I feel like a lot of things like cream bronzer and like contouring, that is coming back. A lot of the products that are being released right now are called a sculpting stick, like this one from Too Faced. It's literally called a bronzing and sculpting stick. And sculpting is now having a little bit of a comeback after us being really tired with it for a bit, after the whole contouring craze that that era had to offer, because everything was contouring, and there were contouring palettes and there were contouring everything. And I think that the new modernized version that we've seen of this is that we're not getting the fully contour palettes as much, because those are more for, and I think again, since that's how contouring started out, it started out being a technique for used by makeup artists. The products that were coming out was also geared a little bit more towards makeup artists. Like you had all the shades in one palette, but realistically, if you are purchasing something as a consumer, you only need a shade for you. And that's something that I now feel has really sunk in with the brands for this like renaissance of contour and also highlighting products are back again. That it's not about having a highlighting palette or a contour palette for everyone, because most consumers, they don't want or need that. They just want their product, like this stick. They just want their thing. And I feel like brands right now are way better at like undertones and way better at making stuff that's just like your own individual thing. I'm also really enjoying this renaissance of blush that has been coming out. I have a hair here. There's so many good blushes that are coming out, and I can never be tired of it. I love blushes so much, and I've been really enjoying experimenting with different blushes and layering and trying, and it's just been the best. So with the 2016 makeup trend was literally more is more, which has always been my makeup aesthetic, especially with eye makeup, when that now has been renamed as this special occasion makeup. Will that mean that we will see more eyeshadow palettes being released by mainstream brands? Because it's definitely not been the norm as of late. We haven't seen that many eyeshadow palettes, and the ones that we have seen have been very one-stop shop, your neutral, easy, like eyeshadow palettes for all your needs. It hasn't been a lot of focus on like interesting color stories or interesting textures, or doing like making a statement with your eyeshadow. That hasn't really been the focus in the mainstream market, and the things that have come out that has been that haven't really been popular. And I'm thinking and I'm wondering, because like Colourpop just came out with this is like the highlighting drops from like Cover FX, but just I was so shocked when I saw this, and I'm like, wow, everything old is new again. This is the ultimate testament to that. And I was so shocked when I saw this, and I literally couldn't help myself thinking, oh my god, these are so these are exactly as pigmented as the Cover FX, but the main difference between these and the Cover FX ones is that these have a transparent base, so they don't look like a metallic eyeshadow on your cheeks. They're actually really good. They're just very pigmented, and this bottle will last you forever. You can put this bottle in your will. You will never run out. But I was thinking when I saw this from Colourpop, and when I swatched it, and when I used it for the first time, I was thinking, oh, everything old is new again. And that was immediately followed by, will the next thing to make a comeback, will that be eyeshadow palettes? Because now we have seen contour make a comeback, we have seen highlighter make a comeback, we've seen matte skin make a comeback, full coverage foundations are making a comeback, matte lips are making a comeback. The only thing we are missing is eyeshadow palettes, and one thing that I will leave towards the end, because I'm wondering if you're thinking the same as me. As you can see, this is not that like metallic sheen that the Cover FX was back in the day. It's a little bit more demure, but you can definitely build it up. Honestly, I will say this is a really good liquid highlighter. This is, and I'm gonna just go on a limb here, this is probably the best affordable liquid highlighter I have tried. The packaging is very 2016, but this formula is, it's really good. So if you're looking for a liquid highlighter and you want to save some money, this one from Colourpop, it's honestly quite good. And I know some people still put highlighter on their nose. I did that for a short amount of time, immediately fell out of love. I don't like that look on me. If it's for you, I'm so happy for you. It's just not for me. I'm just going back and forth with different brushes because I accidentally put on too much. So I will say the formulation is beautiful. I wish they would have done a doe foot applicator instead, because I feel like that would have been so much easier to work with. But hey, this was a nice 2016 revival that I did not think we were gonna see, but here we are. Matte lips are back. I'm excited about this. I like lip liners. I like defined lips. There's been definitely new formulations. This is one from ABH, new formulations of matte lips. And let me tell you, this formulation, probably the best matte liquid lipstick. I mean, it is the best matte liquid lipstick formula I've ever tried. It's better than anything else. It is matte. It is not satin. Extremely comfortable and opaque and just long lasting. It doesn't crack, doesn't bleed, doesn't look weird, doesn't look patchy, and it doesn't dry down. It's not transfer proof, but it's still matte. It's incredible, and I think that's the thing with matte lips now. You saw that new matte lipstick from Merit as well, super comfortable, and I feel like matte lips are having a resurgence, and also I feel like it's because we've been able to refine and make the matte formula so much better, easier to wear and more comfortable, and I'm not mad about it. I love a glossy lip, but I love a matte lip, and after now a couple of years of glosses and lip treatments and lip oils, I'm ready for a matte lip. I hope we see more. A cheek that could signal to satellites, a matte lip, matte skin, and now we're doing a cut crease. This really is a time machine. Also, setting sprays are having a comeback, and also setting sprays that are said to be long-lasting, matte, set your makeup in place. Those are having a revival. This one from One Size, it's a really good one, and I'm so excited to see, again, some things that was so hyped back then just come back in new and just refined formulations. I'm excited. Like I said, I don't really feel like eyeshadows have had their comeback yet. It's been the clean girl aesthetic, it's been the one and done eyeshadow, or the shimmer or the matte one shadow all over the lid. It's been very like effortless, easy eye makeup, which I was never into. That's not the kind of makeup I like. I like it on others. It's not that it's ugly, it's just not the kind of makeup that I would like to do on myself. I like the artistry, I love having fun, I love dramatic makeup. So I'm wondering if the next step, now that highlighters finally had their comeback, like we've literally seen highlighters from the drugstore, like L'Oreal and Colourpop just released new ones, and we're seeing Fenty released a new one, like Natasha Denona re-released her highlighters, like they're really making a comeback. I'm wondering, because the next natural step would be after the bronzer craze, matte lipstick coming back, blushes, highlighters. I really feel like we're gonna see even more full coverage foundations and even more eyeshadows. I feel like this could be the comeback that eyeshadow lovers have been waiting for. And if you're a lover of eyeshadows, I mean, indie brands never stop doing eyeshadows. That's where I've been buying my eyeshadows. I did a video recently, which was, if you like this mainstream brand, you'll love this indie brand. And I was just talking about eyeshadow palettes. So if you're like me and you love eyeshadow palettes and you don't know where to begin, I would definitely recommend that video. I'm gonna be using two indie palettes because, like I said, indie have been doing it. And I said that in a recent video that I said that these two would make a really good combo. So I think that's what I'm gonna do today. And I'm gonna do cut crease. We're going full 2016, full steam ahead. And this is what these palettes look like. And I'm kind of thinking today, I've already done like something yellow, but I'm thinking, ooh, should we try something purple? Because I haven't used those shadows in this palette yet. So I'm thinking we'll start with this corner right here and we'll go in with some from the Adept palette. Like I said, I will link everything down below in case you're interested in these, in case you don't review like or try a lot of indie makeup and you're like, wait, what are those palettes? I will link them down below. So I'm just gonna do something easy. This is the Pretty Poison, which is the dark purple. I'm just gonna do that in my outer corner and outer part of the crease. This isn't really like a tutorial because that's not what this video is, but I do have a lot of tutorials on my channel using, I always try to sneak in tutorials when I'm doing like reviews of palettes so that you can see how to use things, or just shop your stash and do something similar. But today I'm just gonna pop this on. I'm gonna do a cut crease. I'm gonna do birthday makeup. And there's been a lot of like trends that have been on TikTok that we already did. Like cloud skin is just matte blurred skin. Honestly, the clean girl aesthetic is just what we called no makeup makeup when I started doing YouTube. And there's been so many like quick coming trends as well that's been coming and going, and I feel like we've had a bunch of years now after 2020 of just, well, we had a period of like 3-4 years of just like more no makeup, like the clean girl aesthetic. And I feel like maybe people are ready for a change. And I definitely feel like we are gonna come into more intense makeup. I also would not be super surprised if we came into more, like I said, bold lips. And I don't even necessarily mean bold lips as with bold colors, even though we might see that too. I even mean like more visible, like matte lipstick, lip liners, more defined lips. I definitely feel like we could be coming into something like that after years of just lip glosses and lip oils. After people were just really excited to not be wearing face masks again, they were able to wear the more lip glosses and lip oils and stuff like that. And I definitely think we're gonna go into a time where people are like, because you get tired of everything and you want to switch it up a bit. And it's going to be interesting to see what this next era is going to be, because I am so ready for visible makeup to come back. I love playing with drama and colors and just, I'm all about it. This is the lighter purple that's called Pixie Pop. And I'm still in the Lunar Beauty palette, the first one that I showed you. So I'm just going to be blending the edges with this one and putting a little bit in the inner corner. As you can see, I'm definitely doing a very demure, easygoing, just a soft look. I said in a recent video that I'm like a relic that's left from 2016, and that is me. When I heard that 2016 makeup might be coming back, I was like, I am ready. I am so ready. I never left. Like, please welcome to my den of intense makeup. You're all welcome here. So I've been using these two shadows in the Lunar Beauty palette, and now I'm gonna go into the Adept palette. And I really wanna use this one. It is like a blue iridescent holographic shade. It's called Binary Beat. I'm really dying to try that one. So I think that's my goal. I want to try that, but I kind of want to do like a little bit of a cut crease action. And I think I might, can I cut my crease? This is me thinking, or should I just, I'm thinking I might cut my crease. Do you remember everybody cutting their crease with a concealer? I'm just going to use a little bit. And I'm just gonna cut the crease. That sound. I'm just gonna cut the crease, half cut crease. Oh my god, everybody used to do cut creases. It was truly bananas how popular they were, and I hope they come back because they're so good at making your eye look bigger. Look at this. You see the fold here? The fold is in the middle. If you put your cut crease above your fold, you can't put it under because it's going to be swallowed. It needs to be above the fold. Then a cut crease is going to make your eye look bigger. Your cut crease is going to make your eye look smaller. If you put, you see here, it's making my eye look bigger than here because it's above the crease and it's just hiding all of it, disguising it, making my eye look lifted and bigger. And I'm not doing a sharp line because I am going to be using this shimmer on top, but it is enough for it to look like sharp, and you can see the difference between the two eyes. And I'm losing my top again. About to get demonetized. This Binary Beat is a little flaky, so I'm gonna spray it to make sure that I get it to look the way I want it. So I'm gonna apply it first with an E1, This is from Singe Beauty, which is my own brand. And then I'm gonna use, let me show you this one. I'm gonna use an EO7 and I'm gonna crisp the line with that one because it is way more detailed so that I can get a little bit more of a crisp line. Look at how cool that shade is. Ooh, my battery is dying. So I have it on my detailed brush and I'm just gonna put that on the line to get it to be even more detailed because we want the 2016 cut crease action. I used to be crazy about doing a shimmery inner corner, but when I've aged, I've realized a matte inner corner is so much more flattering. And you see this fold right here. This fold will be hid with the matte inner corner, so I will do the matte inner corner. Also, I never liked the shimmery brow bone. I never liked the brow bone highlight altogether. It was never for me. I don't like it. I don't like it on me. I will be honest. I don't like it on a lot of other people either. I think a lot of people's looks look better before they put that on. It's just a personal preference. So I will not be doing that. But do you think that's coming back too? Like the blinding highlight. Oh, it was popular in the early 90s. It was popular in the 2015 makeup. Do you think that's coming back? The like kabam brow highlight? I kind of hope not. Also, one thing that was really, really popular back then to accentuate the half cut crease was to do a line with like a glitter or a shimmer. I'm gonna use this multi-chrome from Bella Beauté bar. This is the Euphoric Hollow in Lexi. And I'm just gonna be using a liner brush. This one is from Sigma. And we are just gonna be doing a line to accentuate the cut crease. And honestly, I really hope this technique comes back with the glitter liner. It was so much fun. Of course, we are doing eyeliner because eyeliners was everything back then. And we have seen eyeliners come back, but it's more the, you know, when people do the little hook and they do a little eyeliner. But we have definitely seen eyeliners make a comeback. Maybe not in the way that they were in 2016, but honestly, maybe for the better, because the eyeliners were like thick. They were like big, thick wings. They're almost like connected with the brows. And I kind of like this whole like coming into the inner corner and just like a wing, but not too much. Losing my top again. Don't mind that. What do we think about this? I think it looks really, really cool. Okay, let's talk about the thing that never came back. And I think this will be the thing that takes the longest to make a comeback. False lashes. I never gave it up, but big, thick false lashes really was all the rage back then. And I have not seen lashes like that make a comeback. Half lashes, the way that I used to do them, they're having their moment right now. But the way lashes were like all the brands were doing false lashes. There were new lash brands popping up here and there. There were brands that only did lashes that were so popular. Lily Lashes, Bella, not Bella Beauté, but there were like Bella, there was something lashes, like there were lash brands that was just so popular. Everybody was starting lash brands and it kind of fell off and I feel like people forgot. I still love lashes. I do half lashes because like you could see before, I have this really intense hood in the beginning of my eyes. This doesn't really, it's not comfortable with lashes because sometimes they get like literally stuck in the hood and I don't like how that feels or how that looks with my eyes. I never gave up lashes, but I'm thinking that eyeshadow is gonna make a comeback way quicker than lashes. So I put on some of my more fluffier half lashes. These are from Juvia's Place. This is the Nubian Lash in Kush, but I do cut mine off to make them a half lash. Let me show you how they look actually in the packaging when you get them. I cut them off to make them a half lash and I feel like that's how I've been using lashes exclusively this past like couple of years. I've just been realizing that a full strip lash just isn't for me, and I feel like there is almost like a little bit of a gap in the market still for more intense half lashes. But I think that these look really, really beautiful. So what did I really want to talk about when it comes to this like birthday makeup trend? And I also said I was going to talk more about like some negative aspects of this. I want us, the community that was here in and I'm talking to myself as well because I'm truly guilty. The community that was here back when this kind of like really intense makeup was popular, let's not gatekeep this trend for the next generation to come. So they're experiencing now for the first time. Some people are gonna find this trend through TikTok, and they might even call it birthday makeup because they weren't here when it was here the first time. Let's just be excited about more people getting into makeup, discovering makeup, and discovering that there can be so many more things to be done with makeup that is not the clean girl aesthetic, that there are more avenues that you could do. You could be more dramatic if you want to. You are allowed to have dramatic makeup on if you want to, on an everyday basis, that there are more things out there than just the no makeup makeup. Let's just be excited that there is a chance for visible makeup to come back, because I like that and I want to see more products like that. I don't know if this video made sense at all. I'm just sitting down rambling thoughts that I had, but I also wanted to say I did see quite a lot of TikToks of just literally women and men berating people that like dramatic makeup like this. And I've been getting quite a lot of comments on TikTok as well, like, wow, she's aging herself, she's looking so bad with the makeup is horrible. Sit down and shut up. Nobody cares. Some of the worst kind of people out there are people that see someone be excited about something and try to bring someone down. Don't rain on someone's parade like that. Who are you to tell someone that is excited about the way they look, they're excited about something that they're doing, maybe just happy about something as like a whole? Who are you to come and tell them that you don't like it? We don't care. We don't care. There are so many people out there that are just trying to be rude because they think something is off. I would never wear that. I would never look like that. I would never say that. I would never be like that, or trying to point out other people as being lesser than, not realizing that when you are that person, you're the mean person. You're the bad person. You're the one that I would never want to be friends with in real life. So don't try to put yourself on a pedestal because you're doing something another way. It's only showing your true colors. When you're acting like that online in real life, that is an immediate red flag to me. I will never answer your comments. I will never follow you on social media. We would never be friends in real life. That is a huge warning sign to me of someone that is insecure and mean. And why would I want that in my life? And to the men out there that tell women, I even see like, oh, if my girlfriend, what girlfriend? What girlfriend are you getting with that attitude? If your girlfriend puts on makeup like this and you tell her you don't like it, or you're mean to her, or try to like put her down because you don't like her makeup, I really hope she dumps you. Preferably in a public and humiliating way, because don't do that. She's not putting on her makeup for you. She's putting on her makeup for her. And if you cannot be happy for someone else, even though you would not want that makeup on you, again, you're the bad person here. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I ended on a sour note, but I'm sick and tired of people trying to like put themselves on a high horse and being like, oh, my choice is so much better than your choice. It's okay to disagree. Like, for example, I don't like the no makeup trend, but it's so cute though. It looks great. And I'm so happy that there are more trends out there for people who like that. That doesn't mean that I'm like better than you because I like more makeup. No, it just means that I've tried it all. I'm 40 years old and I've realized that this is what I like. If you like something else, I'm so excited for you. I hope you are doing the kind of makeup that you want, and I hope no one is trying to bring you down for it. Please let me know your thoughts down below. I will have another video this week, so please stay tuned. The algorithm is showing you some kind of video here next to me that they think is going to be perfect for you. If you want to stay, if you want to listen a bit more, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!